What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be going over my ChatGPT content creation checklist for SEO. So I'm going to be using ChatGPT throughout this video, and I'm going to be going over 8 different things you should keep in mind as you are creating content, as you're writing blog posts, so that you can rank higher in search engines. So this video assumes that you already have come up with content ideas, you've already done your keyword research. So we're going to get started with step 1 to identify your target keyword. So in my case, I identified my target keyword, and it's Google Ads Specialist. What I've been doing is with my own blog, Surfside PPC, I'm going back and updating old content, and I'm also using Google Search Console to try to find keywords that are generating impressions for my website, but really aren't getting many clicks at all. So I'm basically just looking at the last 28 days, the search term contains Google Ads, and then I have the any click-through rate that is beneath 0.5%. So you can see I have a lot of different keywords here that I can easily start to optimize for, but I have Google Ads Specialist here. So what I did is I can click on this page. Over the last 28 days, this individual search, this one search term here, so Google Ads Specialist, has driven 4.88 thousand impressions, but no clicks. So obviously there's some opportunity there. And if we come over here to pages and look at my actual pages that are being shown in Google for this individual search query, you can see it's one blog article, Google Ads Specialist. And you can see that blog post here. So this is a blog post I really didn't spend a lot of time on. I wrote some content on this page, and I probably wrote this blog post 5 or 6 years ago. I updated it in December, basically just to put complete guide for 2023. I just changed the title tag. It's the only thing I changed, and I changed this date, and I updated my publish date. So if we scroll down here, a lot of this content is very, very old. This page was getting literally no clicks or impressions in the search results until several months ago. So I can see this is clearly an opportunity for my website. So coming back over here, the first thing is you need to identify your target keyword. One of the things I'll do to take it a step further with my target keyword is if we come over to the Google Keyword Planner, I will enter my keyword into the Google Keyword Planner just to see some of the different keywords that come up here. So sometimes you can find long tail keywords that are related to the main keyword that we're targeting to kind of give us an idea of, okay, this is what people are looking for when they enter this search term. Something like Google Ads Specialist could actually have 2 different meanings, where there's one person who's interested in becoming a Google Ads Specialist, and there's another person who is interested in hiring a Google Ads Specialist. So for my blog post, I'm going to take it from the route of I want to show people how to become a Google Ads Specialist, because if we're looking at some of these different keywords here, for the most part, that's what people are actually researching. So the other thing that we can do is if we come over here, identifying search intent for our keyword. So that means going directly to the Google search results for the keyword that we are targeting. So if we come over here to Google, what you're going to see for the search term that we are targeting, the keyword that we're targeting, Google Ads Specialist. If we scroll down here, the very first thing is schedule a call with an ads specialist. So basically contact Google Ads. The next one is Google Ads certifications. Next one is how to become a Google Ads Specialist. Next one is Skillshop. And then we have different Google Ads experts for hire through Upwork.com, Indeed, finding an actual Google Ads Specialist job, how to become a Google Ads Specialist in 3 steps. So more job listings here, how to become a specialist again. So for the most part, the results that we're getting, the search intent is going to be, here are some different Google Ads Specialist jobs. If you're looking to improve as a Google Ads Specialist before you get hired, here is how to become a Google Ads Specialist. So this is going to be how I'm going to take the search intent and how I'm going to solve for search intent. I'm also going to link to some of these different job websites as well, because if somebody's visiting my website, I want to give them every resource possible to make sure that they are going to be, basically, I'm going to solve the problem that they're having. Now, the other thing that we can do is go to a website like SEO-reviewtools.com. If you've never been on this website, they have a ton of free SEO tools that you can use. I would highly recommend checking out SEO-reviewtools.com. I have no association with this website, but they do have some really good tools. So for this one, the Keyword Density Checker 2.0, if you do a search based, so instead of URL input or text input, we're just searching a keyword. So we're going to search our targeted keyword here, enter the language, click I'm not a robot, and I've already done this with the keyword Google Ads Specialist. What it will tell us is the average word count of some of these different results on the first page. So for the blog posts that are probably going to be similar to mine, lovesdata.com is around 2,000 words. So datadrivenyou.com, around 3,000 words. reliablesoft.net, around 3,000 words. Simply Learn How to Become a Google Ads Specialist, 2,000 words. Then right here, How to Become a Google Ads Specialist is 785 words. The rest of these are not necessarily going to be my competitors because I'm probably not going to outrank Google, and these are just basically resources for people. So showing people how to become a Google Ads Specialist, I'm looking at probably writing at least 2,000 words. So it is a good idea to kind of get the search intent for your targeted keyword and understand the current pages that rank. So I'm not going to go through this in this video just because it gets boring going through the keyword that I'm targeting. But what I will generally do is I will open up some of these actual pages that are ranking. So I found this result, karmajack.com. What on earth is a Google Ads Specialist? If we scroll down here, I can look through their entire blog article and get an idea of, okay, this page is ranking fairly high for this keyword. It's not on the first page, but I can see here are some of the different things that they covered in their blog article. I need to make sure that I cover some similar things. I need to make sure I give more details. I need to make sure I am better with giving resources to people and giving solutions to people to solve for search intent. If you're not doing all of these different steps before you start to generate an outline for your blog post, it's hard to know what type of angle you're going to create, what type of problem you are going to be solving for people. So once you do those first three things, you have an idea of, okay, this is the angle I'm going to take with this blog post. For the keyword Google Ads Specialist, I am going to be creating a guide that is going to give people every single piece of information to become the best Google Ads Specialist, to either try to become a freelancer and hire their own clients, or to try to work for a company and try to just work in-house either at an agency or for a large company that is looking for Google Ads help. So that's kind of where I'm going to take this blog post. Now, once we have that, it's time to generate an outline for our blog post. Now, let's come over to ChatGPT. Obviously, the first few things, I didn't really use ChatGPT that much, but I do have a few prompts that you can use. So if you're having trouble coming up with different topics to write about, if you take the main topic you're writing about, so I'm writing blog posts about different topics related to Google Ads. For example, I've written and published articles about some of these different subtopics, such as keyword match types, bid strategies, remarketing, and audience targeting. Generate 30 of the most popular subtopics related to Google Ads that will be useful for my readers. So basically, give a little bit of context to ChatGPT and say, can you give me some ideas? Now, I wouldn't necessarily use ChatGPT as a keyword research tool to build your exhaustive keyword list, but when you are looking for content ideas, when you are looking for some keyword ideas, these are pretty useful. So to understand what types of topics I should write about, I can basically just go through this list and create blog posts for each and every one of these different topics, make sure it's a very in-depth blog post, and I'm going to start ranking higher. I'm going to start driving more clicks to my website. So you can come up with topics this way if you don't have a topic or a keyword to write about. The other thing you can do is I am writing a blog article targeting this keyword. What are some long tail keywords? You can also give some recommended keywords that they can basically go off of, but 10 long tail keywords for this short tail keyword. It helps a lot of times to say, what are some long tail keywords related to this question? So that will also help you come up with some keywords as well. But you can see they gave me 10 different long tail keywords. Not all of them perfect. This is why you shouldn't solely do keyword research with ChatGPT. Okay, so keep coming down here. I'm writing a blog article targeting this keyword. What are some of the long tail keywords I'm targeting are this and this. What is the search intent for my keyword? Here's the problem with this one is it's basically giving me both search intents we talked about. So you can see people may be interested in learning about duties and responsibilities of a Google Ads Specialist. User may be looking into information on how to become a Google Ads Specialist. But also up here, the search intent for this keyword is likely to be related to somebody who is searching for information about a professional who specializes in managing and optimizing Google Ads campaigns. So search intent is likely to be informational and transactional. So it wasn't overly helpful for this keyword. So it would probably be much better to use a keyword like how to become a Google Ads Specialist. But I figure if I write a really good blog post about Google Ads Specialists, I could probably rank high and hopefully get that top spot in the search results, at least a top spot below Google. So we'll keep coming down here and we're ready to generate our blog post outlines. I generally will come up with multiple outlines. So you can just basically give a basic prompt and say, create a blog post outline for my blog post with this title. If you do that, they're going to give you a detailed blog post outline. For this one, I put my blog post titled How to Become a Google Ads Specialist, and then I said where I tell people about what it is, how to become one, certifications, average salaries, and why someone should consider being a Google Ads Specialist. So they gave me an outline here. So not a bad outline, but basically just took all the information I gave them and generated an outline. Now over here, I generated a second outline. We can look at the prompt up at the top. This is actually a built-in prompt through AIPRM, which is a Chrome extension. I will show you the prompt at the end of this video, but you can also basically just copy and paste this prompt as well. Any of the prompts I use in this video will be in a Word document that you can download at the very end of the video, or at the beginning of the video, so you can use these prompts yourself. But you can see with this one, they generate a really long outline, but there's a lot of things here like creating a Google Ads campaign. My goal isn't to educate people on Google Ads, it's basically to educate people on how to become a Google Ads specialist. So it's not my job in the blog post to say, here are all the steps to create a Google Ads campaign, but that is an idea for something I can say, here is my detailed guide on Google Ads. If you are interested in becoming a specialist, this will help you gain some knowledge in Google Ads. Rather than going through all of these individual steps and tips, this is really more meant for a Google Ads blog post. So what I did with this one is I pulled out things that I actually want to cover, which doesn't include optimization techniques, no advanced strategies, but things like challenges and solutions. I could do case studies and success stories. This would actually probably be something that would get me to the top of the search results, but it also takes a long time to put together case studies. So real world examples, lesson learned, tools and resources, job opportunities, interview with a Google Ads specialist, and then we have a conclusion and some FAQs at the very end. So I generally try to generate my own FAQs as well. So if we come back over here, I also did underneath my outline, generate 10 frequently asked questions related to how to become a Google Ads specialist. And you can see here are 10 different FAQs. So these are all pretty useful questions that I can answer in my blog post. What I ended up doing is coming up with an outline of simply just questions. So I'll do this sometimes if I can't come up with a good outline with just basically kind of bullet points. But I have what is a Google Ads specialist, why become one, why are they important for businesses, responsibilities, how do I become a Google Ads specialist, certifications, skills, where can they work, what are some job opportunities, how can I stand out, what are average salaries, how do I manage Google Ads clients, what tools can I use, what resources can I use, how can I stay up to date, how can I be successful. Some of these questions are kind of similar, so I can always go back to the content and make sure that I update my blog post and make sure I'm not answering the same question twice. But I thought this was a good blog article outline for this specific topic because it's really going to be more question based and people are going to have specific questions and specific things that they're looking for. So there may be somebody who already has some knowledge about Google Ads, maybe from a past job, maybe they're doing some freelancing work, but what they want to do is they want to work with a large company and they want to get in-house and start working as a Google Ads specialist. So maybe they come to my website and they say, I'm really interested in what certifications I should get. I'm really interested in standing out from other candidates when I'm applying for that position. Now, otherwise, there may be people saying, I want to more effectively manage Google Ads clients. So what are some of the tools I can use to make myself more effective and efficient? Because I am currently a freelancer and I want to grow my freelancing business. Or maybe you have your own Google Ads agency, whatever it may be. So my goal is to answer any question that somebody may have. So if we come back over here, using these different outlines, using these frequently asked questions, so the other outline that I generated, it all helps me get started with writing my blog post. So the first 4 steps, it takes some time to really come up with a strategy for your blog post. And a lot of times this part is something that people just skip. They just start writing a blog post and you don't have every single part of the problem that needs to be solved for people who are searching your keywords. So what we're going to do next is write our blog post. Now, I'm not going to be writing in this video, and I did just generate this with ChatGPT. I'm probably not going to use ChatGPT's content. I may use it for certain questions, but I went through each of the questions with ChatGPT. So we keep scrolling down here. And I put, you're an expert copywriter, you speak fluent English, you write in an active voice, you can pass artificial intelligence detection tests, you use transition words, you do not plagiarize, and you write in the second person. Please answer each of the questions below with detail. Keep each question as a header. So I put all of the different questions here, and I figured it was going to get cut off eventually. So I'm not using the plus version. I'm not using ChatGPT 4. I'm not a premium member. I am still using the free version of ChatGPT. So header, what is a Google Ads specialist? So basically we have all of these different questions and answers for every single question. Eventually I got cut off. So I just basically did the same exact thing and started with the question where I got cut off, and we got the rest of our content down here. So you can see we have everything besides how can I be successful as a Google Ads specialist. So we finish off with that question, which will probably end up just being the conclusion of the blog article. So coming over here, if you want to come up with blog post content, the best thing to do is generate your own outline and basically put together the blog post before you have ChatGPT write it. Because if you're going to ChatGPT and you're saying, I need a blog post for this keyword, then basically you're going to get the same blog post that anybody else who is asking for that specific keyword-based blog post is going to get. Even if it's unique, even if it's written differently, you're going to get basically similar concepts. So what you're trying to do is identify your target keyword, search intent, and then you're trying to put together an outline that solves for search intent so that when you write your blog post, it's much easier to do that. Truthfully, myself, I would rather take the list of questions that I generated, so all of these questions here, answer them myself. And then what you want to do is add images and videos throughout your blog posts. You want to add internal and external links, basically any possible resources that's going to be useful for somebody who is visiting this blog post. But what you could do is use ChatGPT to answer some of these questions and then go through and read this content, basically make any changes you want to make, change any words you want to change. For the most part, ChatGPT writes really well, especially if you're using some of these prompts that I'm using. I've found that that helps as you are trying to come up with a blog post. We have a sectioned off basically with different sections, different paragraphs already ready to go with our blog post. So we could probably copy and paste a lot of this content, publish it, and then go back and edit it. So coming back over here, writing your blog post, the other thing you can do is add frequently asked questions. Since my outline was basically just a list of questions, what I'm probably going to end up doing is going through, change a lot of these different headers from questions into actual headers, and then come up with a different list of frequently asked questions related to Google Ads Specialist where I can give a 1 or 2 sentence answer. The other thing, if we come back over here, is statistics. So blog posts that are shared more generally have a lot of statistics on them, and they generally link out to resources where people can say, okay, what's the average salary for a Google Ads specialist? How many different advertisers are there? How many different types of Google Ads roles are there for people who are interested in having that type of position at a company? So if you're trying to come up with statistics, there is a pretty cool tool I just found. Now, one thing you're going to see here is what are average salaries for Google Ads specialists. Obviously, what I would want to do is go to Glassdoor, figure out the average salary, put it here, and then link directly back to Glassdoor. So that's just another thing you need to do to make sure you're optimizing your blog posts. Now, there is a cool tool I found, askoptimo.com. It's completely free right now. Who knows if they're going to add a paid option in the future, but you can see I create an account. We can try it free. Statistics generator. What you can do is describe the topic. They will provide 20 stats and facts to include in your content. So if I come here and I just type in Google Ads, click on generate, and we scroll down, you can see these are a bunch of different statistics related to Google Ads. So if you find different ones that are going to be useful for this individual blog article, I could also put Google Ads specialists here, but just looking at Google Ads, some of these different statistics can be very useful. Now, one thing you're going to have to do is actually find the source for each of these statistics. So I would recommend doing that. Even if you see one of these statistics, like Google Ads has over 3.5 million advertisers. So I can use that to say, this is why so many specialists are needed, because specialists can only manage so many accounts at once. Link to the source, and that is another way to basically say, okay, this blog article is a very good resource for this specific keyword it's targeting. So coming back over here, writing your blog posts, adding frequently asked questions and statistics is going to help your blog stand out from other blog posts. It's going to allow you to get into that people also asked section in the Google search results. So we're really just trying to find any way to drive more traffic to our blog post. Insert helpful videos and images, and you can get ideas from ChatGPT. So coming back over to ChatGPT again, we go past our blog article here. My prompt, I'm looking for visual media recommendations for my blog posts. I pasted the entire blog post below. Please recommend some images and videos that I should create and where I can add them throughout my blog post. So we scroll down to the output here. You can see it's going to say infographics to showcase the role of a Google Ads specialist and their responsibilities. So a long infographic on this topic will always be helpful for any topic. They just take a long time to make. Screencast video shows how to create and manage a Google Ads campaign. I already have those on my YouTube channel. Stock images, I generally don't use stock images throughout my blog posts. I'd rather put media that is going to be helpful, not just somebody working on a computer. How-to videos, similar to the screencast, animated videos that explains benefits of having a specialist, social media images to promote on various platforms, quotes from my blog post, statistics, or other data that supports my claims. Now, I just took this and said, please recommend more visual media that be helpful for people who are interested in becoming Google Ads specialists. So it recommends linking to the Google Ads YouTube channel, maybe showing some of their videos, showing some courses from Udemy, linking to the Google Ads Help Center. This is definitely one that I will do. Google Ads editor tutorials, I actually already have one on my channel, so I can link to that, and Google Ads webinars. So basically a lot of these is just saying link to different videos that are going to be helpful for people, which I already have on my channel. And then visual media, I'm probably going to end up putting together some different graphics that will show people maybe different salaries of Google Ads specialists and some of the different positions available, and maybe something along the lines of here are some steps you can take to become a Google Ads specialist. So 2 different graphics like that I think will be really helpful for people who are not only interested in finding a job and salaries, but also how to become a good Google Ads specialist. So that is how to come up with some different visual media ideas. Now, the next thing is going to be on-page SEO. With this, I don't really use ChatGPT for on-page SEO. I'll show you how to audit your final blog posts with ChatGPT. On-page SEO, I have used the same checklist for a while. I created my own checklist years ago, but I've been using this checklist from WordStream. So if we come over to their blog post, they have the complete visual guide to on-page SEO in 2023 with templates. So if we scroll down here, this graphic right here, I wish it was bigger so you could see it better in the video. Here is the link to the graphic, but basically keyword research, keyword placement, your title tag, headings, meta description, images, links, technical, content quality, URL, and freshness. And there's different things that you can go through in this checklist as you are writing your blog post. And honestly, if you go through here and make sure you are checking all these boxes with your blog post, you're going to be much more likely to rank high. So I can give you all the different on-page SEO factors. I went over making sure you have a good title, a good description, making sure you have an SEO-friendly URL, you're using image alt tags, you have internal, external links, making sure you're using header tags, making sure basically you have the structure of a really good blog article, that there's not going to be any issues with Google accessing your website, people accessing your website, your content's easy to read, easy to follow. All of that is very important if you want to rank high. So in addition to writing really good content, it also needs to be really user-friendly in terms of the overall user experience. Now, last but not least, number 8, audit your final blog post. So we have basically our blog post written, we've added our frequently asked questions, we've added our statistics, we have our videos, we have our images, we have everything ready to go. Now what we want to do is audit our final blog post, and then you need to continuously make improvements. Even if you just go through one time per year at the beginning of the year and say, okay, let's make sure we update all of our most important blog posts, make sure all of our links are working, make sure all of this content is up to date, make sure they haven't changed the name from Bing ads to Microsoft advertising. We need to go back and change all of our content. So as you are going through to continuously making improvements, one of the most important parts are ranking high. Auditing your final blog post, I use a built-in AIPRM prompt. Now again, AIPRM is completely free to use and get their prompts if you install AIPRM and we search audit. It's this one here, audit page content for SEO. You can also use some of these other ones as well. So some of these can be useful too. And there's also going to be more prompts that are built in with ChatGPT 4 that will probably be even more useful because they'll be able to read your content. But I basically went through and we did our quality audit here. If I scroll to the top, you can actually see the prompts, but it's a pretty long prompt. So saying, I want you to act as an English quality rater, train in auditing content for quality, relevance, truthfulness. I copied and pasted my current content. So I went actually through to my blog posts. I copied all of this and pasted this there. I didn't do the new content yet, but if we come over here, we scroll down, they give me a page quality rating, so overall good source of information. What I really like here is suggestions for improving the content. So obviously I need to do all of this. This is why I'm rewriting this entire blog post. Match search intent and user expectations, use more visuals, provide more examples, add more information on the industry. So these are all really good points for me to improve my blog articles. And what I have found is just some of these different suggestions at the bottom of this audit can be really, really helpful, because I've had different ones where it says include a case study, make sure that you are linking out to relevant statistics, make sure you're including a video of how to do this. So there's a lot of different ways to actually make sure that you are giving people the solution to their problems. And that's the ultimate goal. That's why I created the content creation checklist for SEO, because we need to understand that we are targeting a keyword which represents a topic. And basically with that topic, we need to provide a solution. Now, what you're really trying to do is provide all of the different solutions for the search intent for that keyword. So whether somebody is looking for a Google Ads specialist job, somebody's looking for average salaries, or somebody is looking for certifications, I can make sure I have them covered in my blog post. And then what I can also do is make sure I create a video for here's how to become a Google Ads specialist. Here are some different steps you can take to make sure that you understand Google Ads in full and some of the different opportunities that you can take advantage of. Now, what I can do after that is get people going to my video and watching it, get people going to my blog post and reading it, and I can monetize that traffic. And that's the ultimate goal with content creation. So if you have any questions about my content creation checklist for SEO, obviously there are other things you can add to this checklist, but this is basically the bare minimum you should do if you want to rank high in Google. And keep in mind, you need to keep making improvements on your blog posts, because you may get into that top 15 position, and you need to keep making improvements, keep adding any helpful videos and images, any statistics, any questions, any little thing to your blog posts to outrank your competitors. And then hopefully over time, we can all drive more traffic to our website. So thank you for watching my video today, and make sure you subscribe to the Surfside PPC YouTube channel.